Live from beautiful San Antonio, Texas, it's showtime! Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome tonight's challenger and the former WBC Super Bantamweight Champion of the World, introducing the undefeated Rey Vargas. Tonight he is making the first defense of his title. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the undefeated, reigning and defending WBC Featherweight Champion of the World, introducing Mark Magsayo.
Oh, round one, now!
Vargas has been so dominant has won every card by every judge in those fights. One that was a draw.
He just got hit with the left
did. And he comes back with a combination of his own.
It's exciting. Mexico, when Mexico meets Puerto Rico, I mean, as in the corner that they have Nacho Beristain and Freddie Roach. They came in throwing blows, yeah.
And Magsayo's hero Pacquiao has appeared in no less than 9 of 26. They include Eric Morales and Marco Antonio Barrera, who were involved. We know about Barrera's history against Pacquiao in this building.
That's for sure. Boy, they are both were pretty good, and Vargas as well.
Yeah, first round so far, no.
1, 2, 4.
And Vargas is kind of doing what he promised. He said, I'm good with Magsayo. Hey, he's doing it at his distance.
Final minute of the first. Shot at the belt line there to belt holder 122, looking to prove that he can be the man here at 100s at this weight class. Believe it or not, the veteran Leo Santa Cruz. You'll be watching this fight in 26 pounds. 30 seconds left in the opening frame.
Yeah, Vargas walked into a right hand that Magsayo threw. Magsayo doing a good job before he follows up with the jab, and he catches Vargas going back.
Both Vargas and Magsayo making their bad intentions no frame as they threw a lot of power shots. Bell and round number different fights each time in the second round. The late great Smoking Joe second round was his jinx round against Alexa George Foreman and Oscar.
That if any of these fighters is going down, is going to be with a hook. They're both hooking at the same time.
That left hook.
Well, and speaking of left hooks, Joe Frazier.
Good one.
Man, these two are just sitting down, and like you said, I'm going to sit down on my punches more. I'm going to prove that I can go to like Magsayo, and well, he's willing to put that to the test.
Percent of the punches they've thrown in this round, according to show stats, they are throwing.
Yeah, they're both power punchers. You know, Vargas having 222 knockouts. They both really sit on the punches when they want to. There it is from Magsayo. He barely missed.
He's not known for getting knockouts when he's at a high.
Bring the reach that he has, but right now we're seeing a different side for.
Oh wow, nice from Magsayo. And you know what? I said it would be incumbent upon Magsayo to do something.
You don't want to hook if you're Vargas, and that's what he's doing. I'm sorry. Yeah, you want to hook if you're. He's a shorter man.
By Vargas. Nice body shot, Magsayo, and he would like to go to the body, of course, against the taller Vargas.
Magsayo normally throws many. Thrown 35 jabs so far. Vargas 43, but Magsayo
can throw way above the featherweight average for total punches. Not so far in this fight. 15 seconds left. Former 122-pound champion Rey Vargas. Oh, at the end of round 2 for Magsayo. Responsible for some of that work on Magsayo's body.
I'm going to say yes.
Especially her face on the chest.
All right, third round here. As well, round didn't go down again. That round 2 was the rounds in his career that going like they want to knock each other down. That's for sure. And for Magsayo, he has say on that incredible come from behind win, which really put him on. Manny Pacquiao forced to retire against Yordenis Ugas.
Yeah, very exciting. He was way behind and came back. This fight is largely because Rey Vargas has decided to stay there and battle Magsayo.
We talked about to keep that distance and set up a right hand.
And here you look at the power. Vargas, 69%. And that's everything other than...
Magsayo, of course, coming from behind to stop Ceja. Well, he was dropped by Chris Avalos. So his faced adversity has overcome it. And where Gary Russell didn't throw a jab after exacerbating the shoulder at 126 pounds. You talk about his confidence. He says it doubled overnight, but that confidence defeat as well in Rey Vargas.
Yeah, Vargas is using that reach, that distance. He's standing at a great range where he's landing that check hook and throwing that right.
The first man that starts to really establish that's going to have an edge in this fight.
That jab has been a little absent for Vargas.
Has a good left hook. He's not a giant power puncher, but he's got a good hook. He's got to be careful how he throws it.
Giving up with that hook. He's throwing it, and he's missed many times. It's just a matter of time.
And how about this? I don't think we've any.
Great body shot from Vargas.
And they're fighting at the range to land punches.
Going off the high guard of Magsayo, goes downstairs, then fires a left hook upstairs.
Rhythm Magsayo, he gets in the little bouncy rhythm. He lets go of the punches a little bit. And that's what you want to do, because you're going to miss the first two shots against a...
You know, one of the toughest fights that Magsayo's had was against, and it was a split decision win for him, so the height can bother him from time to time.
Minute 35 seconds left here in the fourth. High world-class warriors. Magsayo launching a lead.
Remember him. Yeah, great sparring partner, but right now, I mean...
Yeah.
Pick'em fight, according to the odds makers. A nice left hand by Magsayo, tagging Magsayo 3 times in a row to the face with the jab.
Hook from Magsayo, he timed it really well.
That's what he wants. He thinks that's
Vargas having a good round. This is as well a family affair for the Vargas clan as Rey
right hand. So they liked what Vargas did in his corner.
Show stats bear that out as we begin round number 5. Magsayo going right uppercut to the body by Vargas, chopping right hand, and Magsayo trying to lunge his way advantages.
We saw the shot of his
but well,
not really
knocked down.
He's a little push also. Now, also, you got to get Vargas. Every punch that he's throwing is with bad intentions. See, even that, it had some power. He's really sitting down on his punches.
Triple jab by Magsayo.
That right hand, but you want to hook first.
Body shots by Vargas.
It's really amazing to see a 5'10" guy.
He's got pop, and yet Vargas has taken his power punch at the edge, both in terms of what he's thrown and what he's landed thus far, according to shows.
You mentioned the fight against Rigoberto Hermosillo from Magsayo, one of his toughest fights to date because final minute of the 5th.
Be careful also.
Yeah, it's a really good point, Abner.
In a successful fashion, Vargas again landing. There's a nice counter right. That hand lands from Magsayo. We are through 5 rounds and another inch
off balance.
This is round number 6. 12-round championship fight for Mark Magsayo, belt holder, and the only Filipino champion left standing out.
Well, you want to jab again. There it is. Jab your way inside. You can tell you hurt him when he lands the right hand. There's the overhand right.
Left hook and countered by the right from Magsayo.
You know, Magsayo averages he's only thrown 105 jabs in 5 rounds, so it speaks to what you said, not using that punch effectively.
Magsayo goes to the body with off the gloves of Magsayo. Vargas goes to the body with a left hook that lands, misses with the right uppercut. And now chance of Magsayo. So both fighters in this Mexico versus Philippines hoping to give that energy to their fan favorite in the ring.
Rey Vargas is
because of that. The body shots hurt Magsayo. He saw his body language. He saw he was backing up a bit.
Yeah.
Pressed.
Yeah, you're right. And they just blasted him downstairs
Another
again.
left hook.
6 years since Vargas scored a stoppage. He's fighting like tonight.
Yeah, and can we talk about the long layoff he's had, Vargas?
Yeah.
And he's not looking. He's looking. The timing is there.
After a long layoff against Baez, and now he's looking sharp. Magsayo looks tired.
is. Has Magsayo on the rope. Magsayo firing off a couple of rights. Back to challenger. Making it double tough for the champion Magsayo. A family affair.
Come on, Mark!
His official 126-pound debut. In the second half of this championship affair, catapult like right hand.
You know, we mentioned earlier that Magsayo might very well be the hardest hitter faced thus far. And there's blood around the left eye of Vargas. But Vargas, that Magsayo is hitting with very well.
And the chronic issue for Vargas, cuts around the eyes. There's a nice left hook that landed upstairs for Vargas.
He's sitting down on his punches. He's not boxing as much. He's standing right there. And the Lyo back.
Let's bring in our unofficial scorer, Steve Farad. How do you have it at the halfway point?
To me, rounds 1 and 2 were both swing rounds. I gave them both to Magsayo by more than 2 points I have in my head. So Vargas 58-56 with all the momentum right now.
We don't know if that cut came from a punch or a clash of heads 4 times before, as you put, that Vargas suffered.
There's a right-left combination from Vargas.
Yeah, there it is again. He left the ring. You got to keep pushing forward.
Final minute of the 7th. There's a lead across the jawline of Magsayo, and Magsayo finding it different
from Vargas this round.
Yeah, and that's
incredible, Abner and Al, that Vargas throwing twice as many punches, doubling them up in terms of connections as well.
He said he's got the momentum right now. He's got the feel. He's feeling this punches.
Another strong round for the challengers.
A clash of heads and a cut.
And Jim Gray reporting that referee John Shorley wasn't sure of the replay. Of course, we have the benefit of seeing the replay. So round number 8, Magsayo in his first title defense is in tough. Challenger Rey Vargas, both of them yet to taste defeat. 30 seconds gone here.
And of course, undefeated, so they passed, been 12 rounds before.
For Magsayo, he's getting a little desperate, so he's got to be careful so he doesn't make.
And now Magsayo again almost to get together a charge, but easier said than done against Rey Vargas.
While throwing himself like that, but he's got to be careful again. He's not setting it up.
And that was one of the instructions from Manny Pacquiao, was saying that it would come down to footwork and head, both lacking in this fight. Round after round, it's Vargas out-chucking Magsayo, but Magsayo with a nice Rey Vargas.
That was a good straight right hand, and I'll tell you what, coming up from 122 pounds, he's taking those punches.
Good. It hurt him.
Yeah, he felt that.
There's a left hook by Vargas.
There it is.
To the 126-pound champion. That he would do it. There's a sweeping left.
Big power punch after that. Vargas was able to weather it, even though he felt it.
Battle of undefeated fighters with Mark Magsayo.
Vargas is 7-0 in 12-round fights. Magsayo is 4-0, so the ring's going that length. The question for Magsayo is, has he dug himself a hole?
Magsayo in the last round. Let's see if he continues with that.
With the jab. Goes to the body with the right, and now Vargas getting... Right hand by Magsayo lands upstairs.
Again, you want to follow it up with the hook.
A reminder against Seha, he was way behind, and he came back with no if he's behind in this fight, but he may well be.
Up by 4.
But I mean, you're way out of distance. Oh, nice right hand. I mean, overhand.
At the same time.
Abner has talked a lot about it. We've talked about the lack of jab. Magsayo. The fact that Vargas has almost doubled the amount of jabs that he... Because actually Magsayo throws more jabs. Oh my!
Wow. Vargas! Vargas goes down in the fourth time in his career. Less than 30 seconds left. Here comes Magsayo. So Magsayo, you mentioned the fight against Julio César. Drama late here in San Antonio. Magsayo all over Vargas. His the tide turning here? That was ruled a slip as we head to Nacho Barstein wants Vargas to avoid inside fighting with Mark Magsayo.
Power that Magsayo has. He could do it any given round.
Right uppercut left. Wow, from Vargas.
Yeah, but Vargas tried that uppercut from back again. He's got to be careful.
Official scores tightening up on Steve Farhad's scorecard.
Judges have those.
There it is. With time, right when Vargas throws at the same time. There it is.
Both of them did. Vargas went downstairs to the
Fire throwing that. It was again an uppercut. And he did it again.
He gets hit.
Oh,
he doesn't look steady on his feet. And he's down. That was a punch. But Vargas' body language.
And I didn't see anyone waking him up in the corner.
Midway point of the not successful and appears off balance.
Yeah, very good point.
And again, we got to go back to when Magsayo fought Gary Wilson, top of that hand. And right now, he's got Vargas. He's got him hurt. You got to get.
Contingent cheering on the Mexican Vargas, and the contingent cheering on the Filipino.
Right here where Vargas is hurt.
Pressure on here in the 10th. We're going to the championship rounds. Ooh. Championship rounds begin round number 11. Undef champion Mark Magsayo defending the title for the first time.
Yeah, if I'm Vargas, I want to get on that bicycle.
Magsayo said that if he doesn't run, it's going to be a knockout.
He did say that.
Unofficially, Vargas.
One before it was a 10-8 round, so we just don't know about those first.
Oh, there's a body shot by Vargas. Magsayo going upstairs. Appeared to be the case here tonight for neither fighter.
Right, and when he's still attacking, but he's throwing and landing some power punches.
There's the jab. He threw it. Let's see if he keeps doing that.
They're gonna.
Yes.
Oh, nice left hand lands for him.
Cannot resist throwing that uppercut from far out, and it didn't cost him there. And this is a close round.
Ooh, nice.
And there Vargas unloads on Magsayo. Wrong sport.
No, that's what we talked about. I talked about the shifting side.
Crowd becoming more boisterous. The action picking up here. 20 seconds left.
Pivotal round.
Told her, will somebody's own go? Round 12 next. Many of the fans in attendance. 40 seconds left in round 9. The challenger Vargas went down from a strike. Fighter has recorded a knockdown in the championship rounds. Both of them looking to
round because we know that Magsayo is going to move forward. He's going to try to look for the knockout.
Needs the knockout. Looking for it here.
Vargas is offering it again. Vargas hasn't scored a knockout in 6 years, so he's not a power puncher.
Delivering on his promise to sit down on his punches.
He's made. The big question is,
Final 60 seconds. Magsayo had Vargas on the ropes.
He did need it to be more active in this round. He's trying to, and you know, he's going to try in the last 30.
Become a 2-division champion. Filipino Magsayo, Mexican Rey Vargas, doing battle in Bell. Another terrific scrap at 100.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 12 rounds of action, we go to the scorecards with a split decision. Here are the score totals. In favor of the winner and the new WWE